Well, here it is, ladies and gentlemen. You've waited long enough. Let's discuss this. When it comes to the world of gaming, two people stand out on the top. The blue blur, Sonic the Hedgehog, Sega's biggest mascot. And the red plumber, savior of the Mushroom Kingdom, Mario, the mascot of Nintendo. These two were the titans of the 90s, and they're still pretty big to this day. For many years, people have wondered who would win between the two of them. Years ago, Death Battle tried to answer this very question. They did it once, and they actually got it correct. But they did it again for the 100th episode special, and they did it wrong. And we today are going to prove they did it wrong, and definitively prove, once and for all, with current information, between Mario and Sonic the Hedgehog. We will answer the question, who would win? Once again, I'm joined by Supersonic Studios, and returning is Cobalt.
You.
Hey.
Now then, ladies and gentlemen, before we get into this discussion, we have a disclaimer we would like to present. Cobalt, tell them what this disclaimer is.
Okay, first off, we're just going to stick with the canon stuff. And one of the biggest disclaimers is we're not hating on either one of these characters as well. I'm a big Mario fan. I wouldn't say I'm huge, but I enjoy his games. And none of us hate Sonic either. All of us are Sonic fans as well. And we're just trying to stick with, like I said, the canon stuff because, well, that's the issue. That's one of the issues we have out with Death Battle because at first they looked like they was going to stick with the canon things. Then all of a sudden they pull out Super Mario World cartoon out of completely nowhere. And it's what the hell? That's not even connected to any shit. Another thing is we're going to stick with abilities that's been doing happened more than one game. We're not going to go with any one-offs. Not the Giga Cat suit from Mario or Dark Spine for Sonic or any stuff like that. We're just going to stick abilities they can actually have used again.
But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, with the title of this video, we will find out the definitive truth. Mario versus Sonic. Who would win? Let's not waste any time and get straight into the stats. We begin with Mario and how strong he is. Based on certain calculations of all Mario's games, he can lift up to 1,600 pounds and hold well over 10,000 pounds while spinning. We calculated this based on the fact that he can pick up Bowser, who has a canonical weight of 1,600 pounds. And we calculate based on how fast Mario spins Bowser, he can hold well over 10,000 pounds because of the amount of force that is generated while Mario is spinning. Look at G-forces and weight increase based on rotational speed force. So we know how strong Mario actually can be, which is a pretty impressive amount of strength. But do tell me, Triple S, how strong is Sonic?
When it comes to Sonic's strength, it is much superior to that of Mario's. Sonic can literally match the might of gods in his series. He's killed powerful beings like Eraser Jin, the Time Eater, literally death itself. He has done quite impressive stuff compared to Mario.
That is quite impressive. Cobalt, in your non-biased opinion, would you say Sonic's strength sounds more impressive than Mario's?
I would say so. Mario's strength is nothing to sneeze at. Again, Bowser's a pretty heavy guy, and Mario can just spin the guy he's nothing sometimes. But at the same time, Sonic has fought powerful genies just in base form.
So we're all in agreement then, Sonic is stronger. 1 point to Sonic. Moving on to the next category, my favorite, speed. Mario is actually pretty fast for someone who's classified as technically a human being. He can spin, which is one of his abilities he's had for quite some time, up to 85 miles per hour, which is pretty insanely fast. Mario spins almost 3 times faster than the world's fastest man, Usain Bolt, whose world record speed is about 28 miles per hour. And as for Mario's running speed, he's pretty fast. Would I say he's faster than Usain Bolt? More than probably, given the fact that he has literally run through multiple worlds seemingly in a single day to rescue Princess Peach. So Mario definitely has beyond human level athleticism and speed. But here's the penultimate question, which is more than likely going to be laughable. Cobalt, how fast is Sonic?
Ooh, that's one heck of a question right there. Well, let's see. We've seen that Sonic has the ability to spin as well, as fast enough to create at least a mini tornado, even a bigger one. Then we also have a count in Sonic could able to spin so fast that his quills around is almost like a freaking buzzsaw. How fast would you have to go for a simple quills on a hedgehog to tail through robots?
Pretty darn fast, I would imagine. Seeing how, funny enough, in real life, the quills on the hedgehog aren't actually that sharp or pointy. They actually are rounded at the tip, so it's more like a fingernail.
Yeah, let's get to the bigger stuff. Even classic Sonic alone has incredible speed feats. Let's not forget, he is able to, and it's actually been confirmed, that he's able to travel through time with his speed alone, breaking, up to light speed. I know some people believe that was just a signpost, but that's just a game mechanic. It's actually Sonic's speed alone can actually reach up to that speed. We even see in Sonic Boom that he reached up to Little Planet within seconds. Now let's get to the bigger stuff. Modern Sonic. First of all, let's talk about the fact that Sonic was fast enough to see Shao warping through chaos control. Well, most of us, it looks like it happened in a blink in the eye of the... Yeah, like he said. I am stuttering. But to Sonic, he's seen the whole thing. To the point where he got confused and thought it was speed not working. Then we go to after this game let's go ahead and skip ahead to Sonic and the Secret Rings. I know this is an odd game to use, but let's hear me out. We have this palace place, well, Original Jin resides in, and it says have an infinite amount of hallways, which goes on infinitely. And Sonic was able to break through this infinite realm within just a few hours. Even less, depends how fast you play the game. So let's count in that, DB Sonic, how fast would you say someone has to go past an infinite loop?
Well, this isn't just a regular infinite loop. Infinite loops, funny enough, do actually exist in real life through science. The what's known as a Mobius strip. But seeing how Eraser Jin is not a scientist, he's a genie. This is magic, and magic goes beyond fundamental understandings of science. So this infinite loop would work even more than a Mobius strip. Mobius strips work in a sense that time on itself would loop backwards upon itself. So instead of time being a straight line like we normally believe it would be, time actually loops back to itself. Literally like a circle. But the way Eraser Jin's work is that it's literally supposed to be a point A to a point infinite B. There is supposed to be no end, hence the word infinite, because the actual number infinity has no end. So for Sonic to literally go from point A to a point B that's supposed to be an infinite distance away, well, he would literally have to break the boundaries of infinity to do so, meaning Sonic's speed would be beyond infinity.
Exactly, which I know some people will point out. Sonic did not 100% outrun the black hole that happened in Sonic Tails, but to be fair, Sonic was already tired out from the fight. In the fight, he was the nigga robot wrist thing. Yeah, that thing.
Not to mention, this black hole is powered by hyper-Gohan energy, which according to certain statements by Dr. Robotnik, is comparable to the power of Chaos.
That's not... But they're even more powerful than the Chaos Emeralds! No!
Exactly. Now we get to, like, after those games, well, we reach to Sonic Generations, well, Sonic was able to restore time just from running through it. Now, how fast would you say someone has to be from restore time and go against time itself? Even go as far as fighting something like the Time Eater.
To be able to restore time as if time could be destroyed would literally have to go beyond the fundamental logical reasonings behind time itself. If time was a physical concept that could be broken, for Sonic to be able to restore it, his speed alone would literally have to break every law of time and everything. Just every law we know about through science, belief, or anything else. Sonic would have to break those very laws to restore time. Meaning his speed goes beyond the conventional means of four-dimensional time. He would literally have to have speed that goes even technically beyond the fifth dimension. So, and I bet you're thinking, wait, why would it have to go beyond the fifth? Because beyond time is, in some cases, you could argue, existence. But to recreate time, well, you need to go into the realm of creation, which is the sixth dimension. So Sonic's speed could be able to restore time itself, could break in all the fundamental laws of time, would literally put his speed beyond, well, the fifth dimension, just by pure logic and reasoning. His speed would be in the sixth dimensional category. His speed could create things. So Sonic, technically speaking, with his speed, has creation powers, which would literally put his speed at incalculable, because speed's not supposed to go beyond time. Time is literally the measurement of speed. Going beyond it, you're already breaking the boundaries of the fourth dimension. And for speed, which again is supposed to be measured by time, to restore time itself, you would literally go beyond all forms of logic.
And that's just not the only speed feat. Even as far as like Sonic Forces, we've seen Sonic was trapped into null space, which is basically the Phantom movie's version of a limbo. One way in, no way out. Yet Sonic has broken out of there with speed alone within seconds. How fast would you see?
A place where there's no way in, no way out, which almost sounds exactly like the Infinite Palace hallway from Arabian Nights, again referencing Sonic and the Secret Rings, proves Sonic can literally go beyond the boundaries of infinity, and even beyond something that's, well, doesn't sound like it's bounded by infinity, an infinite null void. So Sonic literally is going beyond infinity 2 times over.
And funny enough, people have claimed that Sonic's speed limit is only Mach 5, but Sonic himself has disproven that. Like Omega back in Sonic Tails DS has said Sonic has almost reached the speed of light speed. But Sonic himself has flat out said light speed is small time for him.
And with some of the feats we've discussed so far, this is small time. So, I think we can all come to a very conclusive agreement that Sonic is much faster. Like, the comparison between Mario and Sonic's speed is not fair at all.
Alright, next character, fully.
Is martial arts. Mario knows almost none of them. If he knows any, they're very basic stuff. Your average punch, maybe your average front kick, maybe a butt slam here and there. That's about it. That is the extent of Mario.
Which, to be fair, a butt slam, when you're fast as Mario, that can be deadly.
Don't fat shame. So, Triple S, what kind of martial arts does Sonic know?
Okay, Sonic with martial arts and fighting skills. Quite a few. Boxing, Kung Fu, MMA, etc. Like, he knows quite a bit of fighting skills.
I don't think this needs to be agreed upon. It's pretty obvious. Someone who knows like more than 5 fighting styles against someone who knows none of them, it's pretty obvious Sonic wins again. Agreed?
Yep. One thing I do want to point out before we go to the next category is another thing with Sonic is that he is a fast thinker, meaning that he can learn quite a lot of fighting skills, which will give him an advantage.
Good point to bring up, Triple S. Do you agree, Cobalt?
I guess so.
Moving on to the next category is special moves. For Mario, he has his spin attack and his butt slam. Yep, that's about it. I joke you not. That's it for Mario. This is kind of getting embarrassing, but Cobalt, what about Sonic's special moves?
Oh, he has several. Like, he has the spin dash, the homing attack, the boost, and what else? He also has, like, the tornado jump, the wall jump, which actually, now I think about it, I guess we could off the tornado jump since there's a one. No, wait, he technically does these other moves, like in Sonic Battle. Then all those moves he did in, Frontiers. It was like a lot of stuff, and he keeps wanting more. And that's just like, I'm just going off of like the stuff you do in base Formula 1.
Yeah, the amount of stuff Sonic can do in his transformations are kind of bonkers. So, all in agreement, Sonic wins again.
Nope.
Yep.
Next category is powers, power types, and abilities. Mario's are as such: the Super Mushroom, the Mega Mushroom, the Mini Mushroom, the Cape Feather, Ice Flowers, Fire Flowers, Super Hammer, Superstar, and the Cat Suit.
Are you sure Mario's not a furry?
Well, he's not a big furry because he no longer has the Tanuki suit.
Well,
I'm surprised they haven't brought that back yet. But be honest, who's picking the Tanuki suit over the cat suit now?
That's a good point.
So Mario has quite a lot of powers and abilities, or should I just say power-ups. But Triple S, tell us, what does Sonic have in comparison?
And for you, power shields, instant shield, drop dash, wisps, light speed shoes, light speed attacks, the powers of chaos, and he can fly.
So, I know it sounds like Mario has more, but yeah, the more he has does not mean the better. What Sonic has is a lot better by comparison, especially one of those things, power of chaos. I don't even think I need to go into just how ridiculously OP chaos power is in the world of Sonic. But if ever you do want to know what it can do, there'll be a future video discussing about how powerful chaos is in the world of Sonic. But anywho,
So, one problem with Mario is that while yes, Sonic can get his shields damaged, with Mario, all of his power-ups can get damaged.
even his quote-unquote invincibility star, or Starman power, has a weakness. Lava.
Yep,
If he
because-
goes in lava, boop,
Yep.
no longer works. But funny enough, when Sonic goes invincible, like in its Super Sonic form, if he goes in lava, nothing happens. Lava does fuck all. Huh, kinda like when Goku went in lava versus Super Saiyan. Oh my god, just kidding. We all know that was purpose.
Yeah. Moving on.
So, once again, Sonic wins that because, well, he just has better equipment.
Yeah.
Speaking of equipment, we move on to weapons. Mario has a hammer. That's about it. So, Cobalt, what does Sonic have if he has any weapons at all?
A form of weapon, Sonic doesn't really normally carry weapons. There was a few times he did have some, like, I guess you could call some of his upgrades of weapons. Like, the magic glove, the bounce pad. Well, though he's gotten where he could do a lot of those without those attachments. Even gotten where he does the light speed dash without the light speed shoes. You could almost say, like, well, those won't count as weapons. The closest thing he has gotten as a weapon would be the sword he got from Sonic and the Black Knights. But he was growing pretty fast and skillful with it.
Yeah, but even with all that, I mean, if you think about it, Sonic technically is a weapon himself.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, he does have, like, built-in sword rolling on his back.
I wouldn't call them swords, more like giant razor blades.
That too.
If you are curious what we're talking about the fact that Sonic can spin dash and turn himself into like a fucking buzzsaw. So he literally does become a weapon. I don't think we need to discuss this. Sonic wins again. Transformations. Yeah, despite Mario's power-ups, none of them technically count as transformations. You could make arguments with the Giant Shroom or the Starman power-up, but they're not proper transformations in the traditional sense. And I don't even think I need to ask either one of you, even though you're going to tell me anyway. The fact that Sonic has the super form, yeah, the fact that Sonic has the transformation compared to the fact Mario does not, I think that's a pretty clear-cut answer that Sonic wins. But what transformation does Sonic have?
He has several. He does have a few one-offs like Excalibur Sonic, Dark Spine Sonic, Sonic the Whale Hog, and he did have, like, I guess these will count as transformations of him using Chaos Emerald power in the, like, Sonic Superstars. I guess it will count as somewhat transformations.
I guess Hypersonic can also count, but that's also a one-off too.
I was going to go into that, which I believe Hypersonic is more powerful than Supersonic, or he's still in the time he was introduced. But like SS here said, that's a one-off. Then we also got like Supersonic himself that has already have done amazing feats, like fought against like gods that was eating up time, fought demonic beings that was like bigger than him, and he was like an ant to a comparison.
So once again, not only does Sonic have a transformation, but his transformation has battled literal gods. So by default, in two different ways, he wins again. So, alright. Miscellaneous abilities. Yeah, even though this seems a little inconsistent in some ways, one of Mario's abilities is that he can breathe underwater, which isn't going to matter much in the terms of a fight, but kind of interesting piece of trivia for those of you who didn't know.
At least in the 2D games.
But not only, but if that's an ability, here are the weaknesses. Mario cannot survive being crushed, he cannot survive lava, and black holes can kill him, and so can the vacuum of space. Don't believe me? Look at how he dies in the Mario Galaxy games. Those are literal ways he can die. But what about Sonic? Cobalt, what about his miscellaneous abilities?
Well, when it comes to abilities, we know that Sonic cannot swim, at least way back in the older stuff. Though later that's kind of been no longer a thing if you count in Sonic Curls, well, he was able to swim just fine in there. But then one of the biggest misconceptions is that people believe that Sonic is scared of water, but that's only in the cartoons and stuff. He's never shown fear of water in the canon stuff. I know stuff like he can also get burned by lava, but he's like too fast for it most of the time. He can breathe in space, unlike Mario, but he can't really breathe in water unless he has like the bubble. Spice can be sometimes an issue. He can be crushed as well, unless he's in like a super state.
Well, what about you, Triple S? What weaknesses does Sonic have if he has, well, any?
Kobold says Sonic mostly just has one weakness. Can't really swim that much. That's basically it.
So Mario's one miscellaneous ability is the only thing that gives him a slight advantage over Sonic's weakness. Mario can breathe underwater, while Sonic technically can't breathe underwater because he can't swim, even though that was kind of rectified in Colors where he seems to swim fine, but he still seems to need oxygen, whereas in comparison Mario doesn't need oxygen. So in a way it's still kind of a weakness, so it's not. So I think the real weakness for Sonic is not that he can't swim, it's more that he can't breathe underwater, which doesn't make sense since he can breathe in space. How can you breathe in space but not breathe in water? What kind of logic is that?
No.
So,
To be fair, at least space ain't gonna fill up your lungs with water.
so what do we do here? Do we say anyone wins this particular category? Because miscellaneous abilities and weaknesses don't fully matter, but I guess you could say Mario has, well, the worst weaknesses since he has more ways of being killed off than Sonic can.
Sonic to win to this one, because even with that advantage Mario has with breathing on the water, I mean, Sonic can technically do that if he goes super and have one of the shields.
That is also true, so once again, regardless of Mario's one ability to breathe underwater, don't matter. Sonic can also breathe when he's in his super form or just happen to have a shield. So Sonic wins again. So, we get to the final bit. We scale the characters. And this is where I become kind of a mathematical nerd here. Mario's scaling with all the abilities he's had, all the canonology we can put in, and we're allowed to put in because of what is and isn't canon. Mario is about, at best, city level. Not bad, I guess, but oh boy. Cobalt, Triple S, are you ready to find out with all the abilities Sonic has, put through in his games how overly powerful he is?
I'm ready.
Yup.
Without diving too much into it, let's go over 3 major instances for Sonic to show his power. Incident 1, Sonic 06. He fought against Solaris, a being said to be able to destroy time, space, and matter, making him a possibly 5th to 6th dimensional being, which while yes, Sonic didn't beat on his own, he was the majority powerhouse in the fight, and it has been stated multiple times, Sonic gets stronger with every single game, meaning by now, he is much more powerful than Solaris. Power boost, or calculation number 2, his fight against Time Eater. Time Eater was destroying time, and was apparently going to fight Sonic to the very end of time. But seeing how Sonic managed to defeat this creature that was absorbing, destroying, and distorting time, and somehow could find an end to something that's not supposed to have an end, that still gives Sonic a 5th to 6th dimensional level power scaling. But the last one is where Sonic's power skyrockets. His fight against the End in Frontiers. The End, both confirmed by Takashi Iizuka, Naoto Oshima, and the rest of the Sonic team, is confirmed to be death. The literal personification of death. The End is supposed to be basically the Grim Reaper, bringer of all things, ender of life. And Sonic beat him to be able to defeat something that brings death to all things, including gods. And it was stated that the end is supposed to be more powerful than every other villain Sonic has faced prior, which would include Solaris and the Time Eater, and even other people like Dark Gaia, who's supposed to basically be the devil himself, to be able to beat someone that brings death to all these things. Sonic's power scale is omniversal, putting Sonic in the highest echelon of powerhouses, making him one of, if not the most powerful video game character of all time.
I believe it's also been stated that Sonic has fought against Destiny itself just to beat the end.
And Destiny is another fundamental, construct of the universe. And we know Sonic doesn't just live in a universe. We know, based on a lot of games that explain that there is a multiverse, Sonic lives in an infinite multiverse. So with knowing that fact, with the fact that this is a fundamental thing, death, fate, destiny, life, and everything else, these are the fundamental laws of the multiverse he lives in, and he not only defied destiny to defeat death, that means he beat two core constructs of the very fabric of reality. That puts Sonic in this level of power very easily. So, how does Sonic compare to Mario? Yeah, how are you going to compare someone who maybe can destroy a city to someone who can destroy the entire omniverse? You can't. The comparison is not there. Comparing Mario, who's city level, to Sonic, who is omniversal, is literally like comparing the number 1 to the number infinity. There is no comparison.
And we do know that Sonic does live in a multiverse because, thanks to Shadow Generation, where Shadow has actually freaking visit the Sonic movie universe.
Which originally we didn't even know if it was going to be canon or not to the games, but, well, now we know it technically is.
In some sense.
And we know that there is some interconnection with even non-canon material, such as the comic books. The Archie comics had some connection to the video games for a multitude of reasons. For example, there's a comic book slip in the Archies that states Solaris, who wasn't in the Archie comics, so this is talking about the video game Solaris, was so powerful that he was considered a threat to the Archieverse. Yeah, that was literally a statement in one of the Archie comics. So the fact that a video game villain was starting to slip into a world of comic books where things get even more powerful and insane, yeah, you know things are going shit ways to Sunday if that happens. So, we've done all the scaling, all the calculations, all the chronology, and in conclusion, we have our answer. So, Cobalt, did Mario ever stand a chance in your opinion?
Not really. Reason that to this version of Sonic, which to be fair, I'm not sure there is a version of Sonic he could actually beat. Even if he goes up against classic Sonic, the situation is still on the slim side. He has a higher chance, but I'm not sure how big of a chance he have.
What about you, Triple S? Was there ever any doubt that Mario was gonna have a chance? Or was there no doubt in your mind Sonic was going to win?
Well, Mario is not going to beat Sonic, no matter what the outcome will be.
Well, you heard it, folks. With all the information we gathered, everything that is canon, real canon, Death Battle, yeah, we're still calling you out. In a fight between Super Mario, the the Red Plumber, Savior of the Mushroom Kingdom, against Sonic the Hedgehog, the Blue Blur, Savior of the World, the winner, and the definitive answer, and the answer that will always remain from this point onward, from 2025 to forever, the winner is Sonic the Hedgehog. Finally, it's done. We have done it. So we all know what happens next. If you want more information, if you want more battles, you know what you need to do. You need to like this video, comment, subscribe, and click the notification bell so you don't miss a thing. Links in the description to Cobalt and Triple S's channel will be in the description below. Cobalt, tell the fans what they're going to miss out on if they don't subscribe to you.
Well, these days I start doing comic dubs, and well, I have a group of voice actors on my set on my team. Well, also Blues team. I just follow them. So yeah, I'm starting to do like a lot more comic dubs. I am even starting to do like even bigger series comic dubs.
Cool. Triple S, what about you?
There's not too much stuff on my channel at the moment, but sometime soon I'm going to be showing off some custom action figures I have made, along with some storyboards I made involving the Sonic series. So stay tuned for that.
So don't miss out, guys. Once again, Cobalt's channel, link in the description. Supersonic Studios channel, also link in the description. And with that being said, thank you all so much for watching this video. And once again, the answer of who would win between Mario and Sonic, the winner is Sonic. Stay awesome, guys. And as always, a Dragon Fest. Hiya.
It doesn't matter now what happens. I will never give up the fight. Long as the voice inside drives me to run and fight. It doesn't matter.